Marketer, which approach will produce the most leads? Is it run your entire business better with one system, or the world's #1 on-demand business software? Stop and think. Really try to answer that question, because the result of an experiment proved to be profound. The marketer entrepreneur who wrote and tested this winning headline achieved the extraordinary. And in doing so, they discovered a new pathway to meaningful work. You can too. Listen, our work is tough and often underappreciated, but there's a different way forward. And life is too precious to waste on mediocrity and frantic activity. So here's the big question today. How can we escape the drudgery of the daily grind and literally transform our career? How can we bring meaning and purpose to what we do? Before probing the answer, I want to make a radical statement. The business world has enough big. What it needs is more beauty. Beauty is the right prioritization of elements, and the marketer's art brings this prioritization to the organization, emphasizing the supremacy of the customer. Now, what am I saying? What does that truly mean? Well, in the next few minutes, I'm going to connect that to these headlines and to this experiment. And in doing so, we're going to learn 3 insights that might transform the way we approach our work tomorrow. But before that, I want to share with you this infographic, because before we're finished today, I'm going to help you see its power to make a difference in the work that you do. Let's begin with point 1. You need to recognize the full scope of your powers. This is where it gets fun. You're about to see the work of an extraordinary human being. The theater of achievement is not what you would expect. It's not a 90-foot wave, a rugged cliff face, or a snowy mountain slope. It's a lowly and very basic sales and marketing funnel. Just a display ad, a landing page, and a transaction form. Yet, the person behind this feat was amazing. They weren't an extreme athlete. In fact, they were just a seemingly ordinary marketer. But something amazing happened. Watch closely. It almost feels like magic. Working through a different way of seeing and thinking, beginning with why instead of how, this marketer achieved a 272% increase in conversion. Now that's amazing, but there's more to it, because this conversion win led to an increase in revenue of 268%. But you have to think about it. More people are saying yes in the channel. So cost per acquisition was reduced by 66%. You're spending the same amount of money, but you're getting a much higher rate of conversion, which led to not only more revenue, but this is where it gets shocking. Monthly profit was projected to quadruple. That's a 302% increase. I'm not trying to be melodramatic, but I find this achievement to be remarkable. It brings us to the next point. You need to think differently than the average marketer. Beware of going wide with your marketing before you go deep with your thinking. In fact, while you're watching this video, teams around the world are approaching their funnel with action that has not been grounded in reflection. They've skipped the why and rushed to the how. And they're headed down the path of the adequate at best, or the disappointing at worst. As Peter Drucker said, adequacy is the enemy of excellence. Now, if you're beginning your next marketing challenge with a how question, you're probably on the wrong track. The marketer-philosopher does not ask how before they ask why. And the most important why question is value proposition centric. Here it is. If I am the ideal customer, why would I purchase from you rather than X, Y, or Z? Just fill in your competitors' names. Beginning with why, this extraordinary marketer used an inverted argument to position the product in the must-consider set. Essentially, they shifted the argument from why so to why not, and the results were astonishing. We'll teach you how to do that in a later session. But I want to ask a tough question now. What if this marketer had begun with how instead of why? Here's a classic move. How can I drive more traffic? Let's work through that. Had this marketer been able to find and purchase a traffic increase of 25%, and believe me, that's tough. It's tough to get it at the same price. It's tough to continue to scale it. But if they had, revenue would have increased by 25%, but so would have cost. they would have settled for a numbing increase without ever knowing how much they could have achieved. And the difference can be viewed as an unmeasured but catastrophic loss. Let me show you why. While I can't share the financials of this company, I can still help you understand the impacts because we're dealing in ratios. So in this case, if revenue was $1 million per month and profit was 10%, then the marketer who bought 25% more traffic would have captured an additional profit of $25,000 per month. Now don't get distracted. I have only 3 more numbers to show you, but they're shocking. So here's the irony. They might have, just like you, declared this a success. They might have been pleased with the result. But if they had followed the path of the marketer we described at the beginning, if they began with a why question instead of the how question, they could have captured an additional monthly profit of $684,000. Now, I'm going to put a simple equation on the board because it explains everything. 684,000 minus 25,000 equals 659,000. Now think about that. Their so-called success would have cost the company $659,000 a month. And worse, the company wouldn't even be able to detect it. It's shocking, which brings us to the final point. You need to commit yourself to mastering your art. And I think to do this, you need 4 essential growth elements. 1, a powerful set of thinking tools that will shortcut the time it takes to get to a new level of results. You can see on this graphic, there are 7 that we're going to be teaching you. Number 2, a step-by-step roadmap that will enable you to break your messaging tasks down into achievable clusters. Number 3, a self-optimizing system that helps you to continually test and refine your understanding of a customer. And number 4, a very fast way to learn and absorb this new paradigm for approaching your work. We've created a series of videos, each under 10 minutes, that connects to an LMS, that's a learning management system, that has other tools and resources. All of it is free. You're actually watching the first fast class in this new teaching series. These fast classes will replace the former MECLABS certification programs, and this is new. We're going to give it all to you for free. My dream, truly, my dream is to create an entirely new kind of marketer-philosopher. To see more about these fast classes, you can visit here. If you haven't already, you might want to subscribe. But if you're in a hurry and you need to get a result fast, just email me and I will respond personally. Thanks for investing your time today, and there's more to come.